Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order of business, as usual, approve the minutes from last week. Second.
I so move.
Thompson moved.
Second.
Curry seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Motion passes 4-0. Miscellaneous motion, move to authorize the director chairman to sign Cobb County payroll notice for Christopher Smith, Sheriff's Office, Court Security Deputy, new hire, pay grade 40-6, for the wage of $23.06, effective 10/5/23.
That should say Vice Chairman. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is that a existing position? I mean, has it been vacant?
That was one of the new ones he was hiring for the lobby.
Okay.
In our job description, so we don't have that in one of our job descriptions. You know, it says court security deputy, in our job descriptions, we don't show it. And grade number 40.
Oh, okay. I will add that.
So we ought to see what he wants to do.
Yes, I will get that added.
I guess I'll move.
I'll second that.
Moved by Huebner, seconded by Thompson. Any further discussion? It does say it will say vice chairman.
Yes, I have that already corrected.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0.
There's 2 more in there.
So,
Did this all go in here?
adding authority.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, this is in Leroy, 306 West 5th, owned by West Ewing. He would like to have that torn down. Well, he's going to tear it down. He would like the landfill fees waived so that he can go ahead and put in a new structure there.
Okay.
You say he's gonna put a new structure there?
Yes, that's his intent, yes.
Who's, what'd you say the address was?
It's 306 West 5th.
Who owns that?
Wes Ewing. He bought it from Roberta Biddle not too long ago.
Okay. He's gotta put a new structure up.
That's he says that's what he's wanting to do.
That house hasn't been in good shape for many, many years, so it's time to get it down. I so moved. Vice Chairman. I'll second.
Moved by me, seconded by McCurry. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Moving right on, Jenny.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Morning.
How are you?
All right, how are you?
Your day.
Oh, pretty good.
Early yet.
Yes,
Next time, put a change in there.
very early. Okay. So I have an update on the AEDs. And do you think Jesse would like a copy?
If you have an extra, maybe.
All right. So to get started, our AEDs, they will be delivered on Friday, October 13th. I have been in contact with everybody who has been on the purchase order list. So this first page that you see is the automated external defibrillator quality control log. I went ahead and made this up for everybody who is receiving one of the new AEDs. So they do have to perform a check of the official check, a system check, and an AED pad present check. All the items that are listed on here are items that have to be checked once a month for, recommended by the manufacturer for, oh my gosh, just maintenance and repair for warranty purposes. There we go.
Okay.
And I did write on the bottom in bright red, so for the warranty purposes, the AED batteries are to be replaced every 4 years, and the manufacturer recommends the AED devices to be replaced every 8 years. And then on the back, if there's any troubleshooting that has to be performed, they can log it there. They just have to keep this on hand with the AED. In case they do have to return it or have any maintenance done on it. So the next form, I will also be sending out to all of the purchasers. This is just how to run the AED, videos on how to run the AEDs, training, how to do the quality checks, and if there's any advanced touchscreen configurations that need to be updated. The next page is a tracking form that I have to give to the First Response Kansas Dwayne Dillinger rep. This is for their tracking purposes. So once they come to pick up all of the AEDs, in the health department, I do have to write their name, address, city, state, zip, contact name, and phone number in case there's any recalls. So the company will actually handle that. And they will also be logged with the state for locating where an AED is in case of an emergency. The next form, if the business already has an AED, this is just a trade-in program so they can get money out of it. So if they are past use or no longer need it, they can get reimbursed some money. I mean, it's not going to be the full price. And then the next page is just the tracking of all the entities that had purchased the AEDs, which leads me to my next. So they're going to be delivered on October 13th. They'll be ready to distribute on Monday, October 16th. How do you guys want to go about collecting payment? So we're going to pay in full, and then whenever they come pick up, do you want them to pay at pickup, or do you want them to come stop by the clerk office? Or how do you guys want to go about that?
Do you have any objection paying when they pick them up? I mean, or how else are we gonna?
Are they,
Have to just record it. Well, I mean, if they pay when they pick them up, that's great. If not, then we'll have to invoice them, I'm assuming somehow.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, one way or the other.
Okay, so just invoice.
I would think that just invoicing would be the easiest way
Yeah,
to
probably
do it.
better than them having to bring
Yeah,
payment with them.
Okay.
and not might, if not already issued,
Yeah, they might have to wait
and not already issued, may have to wait for a board meeting.
for a meeting.
Like
whether
fire,
it's
like
week
fire,
or
I assume that
whatever.
would be approved through the board. Approved through the board, Yeah. see, wait a little bit.
Okay, so go ahead and distribute them on the 16th, and they'll receive invoices.
I assume that'd be,
yeah.
Okay.
Or, I mean, are you going to invoice them, or do you want us to? Or we can do it. I just need to know who and how much
Okay,
for everybody.
I can send you that paperwork.
Okay, and then we can do that.
Okay. I think that's all I have for the AEDs, unless you guys have any questions.
what?
Okay, and then I would like to request to go into executive session to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel.
For how long?
5 minutes?
Is that, will that be long enough, you think?
I think so.
With the board and county attorney?
Oh, with myself, county commissioners, and county attorney. That's what she's.
And is that like regarding
Performance.
performance?
Performance.
For 5 minutes. Any motion?
I'll make that
Steve
motion.
made it.
I'll second.
Dawn seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. We're going at 9:14 for 5 minutes. No action taken. Moving on, Boom Bridge, Admiral.
Good morning.
Morning, Adam.
We had one call out this weekend, 20th and Underwood. Somebody had done a little bit of damage to the road with a dozer. Was able to just shovel the holes shut and took care of that, so that was nothing major.
That's on gravel, is it?
Yeah.
I see.
Just on gravel there, southeast of Waverly. Just got a couple things today. One motion for extending one of our temporary seasonal summer helps hours.
Request authorization to extend hours for one seasonal employee, Chase
Fair.
Pear. I don't know why I always want to go 40. For 1,000 hours and not to exceed 1,200 hours.
I so move.
Go ahead, Steve. I'll second.
Thompson moved, McCurry seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0.
Alright, thank you. Only other thing I have is just a little bit of discussion on the 2 dump trucks. For disposal of those, I've done some checking with Big Iron and Purple Wave. Just kind of wanted to let you guys know what I come up with as far as their fees and whatnot. And then hopefully come up with a decision of who we want to use so we can start the process. Big Iron, they charge the sellers a 10% fee and no buyer's fee. And Purple Wave is basically the opposite. They have a 10% buyer's fee and no listing fee for a government entity. So, I mean, it's about as widespread as you can get it. Just kind of see what you guys thought, what direction we needed to go.
You've used both of them in the past, I think. In your judgment, and Ryan's judgment, which do you feel like is the best way to go? With what equipment you've got to sell?
I really couldn't tell you because I haven't been involved
Okay.
in any of those prior sales. I know our last equipment sale, we used Heartland.
Yeah.
Trying to go with a couple, I don't know, maybe more popular, bigger operations this time. I know I've had some discussion with Wade about it, and it's kind of the avenue we're trying to go. We looked into Auction Time and just trying to go with one of these two, I think would be best.
Big Iron recently joined forces with Sullivan Auctioneers, and that greatly
increase their amount of bidders
Yeah.
that they have, you know. In my experience, I mean, in the last 2 years, I've sold close to $1 million worth with big iron, and that's my preference, but I'm not gonna say that that's a huge edge between the two. Sometimes with something that has a defect or an odd piece of equipment, you might do a little better with Purple Wave, but overall, I mean, that's one thing we are dealing with here a little bit, is we're probably, everybody shouldn't be disappointed maybe in what this stuff brings, because I don't know what, the International's got a lot of problems, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna need some motor work for sure.
And the Mac has
Frame problem.
the frame's broke by the rear suspension, so,
Yeah.
you know, it's gonna be, I think the Mac is, in my eyes, is very repairable, but, you know, as I discussed with Craig Metzger and Ryan and you about that I agreed with you guys' thoughts on that, was probably shouldn't be repaired and used by a public entity.
Well, and that was
Liability.
discussed. I reached out to, Trust Point and discussed that with them as far as us doing the repair and putting it back on the road, and they weren't
They didn't
in
like
favor of that, so.
Right. So I
I
think you're
think-
definitely going the right way to dispose of it.
Yes, yeah.
But, I mean, I guess that would be my preference, would be big iron, but I'm, you know, flexible if somebody else has a, you know, reason, whatever.
I mean, I just know about each one of them as far as doing any business with them. I don't, I mean,
Yeah.
depending on you guys.
Now, I'm not sure on Big Iron, but Purple Wave, Ben's, they didn't charge the seller anything. There is no reserves. And I don't remember when I talked to the gentleman with Big Iron whether he actually answered that question or
No,
not.
neither one have reserves.
I can't remember if he did.
Yeah.
So that's,
So whatever it's bid.
yeah,
Well,
that's the,
I mean, I guess we need, in my mind, you know, you've got literally thousands of people looking at that. In my mind, whatever it brings, that's what it's worth.
yeah.
You know, it may be, you know, I would hate that you sell it and you don't get offered as much as what they offered you for trade-in, but I mean, with that frame being broke, it's hard to tell how that might go. you
Yeah.
know, But, you
Well,
know,
that was kind of a chance I think we were willing to take.
yeah, to try to get a little bit more, and I'm in agreement, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, that was 2 or 3 months ago. The market changes, it seems like.
Yeah,
Weekly,
that's for
so-
sure. You know, the peak season for dump trucks is soon gonna be upon us by the
Yeah.
time this thing gets sold, you know.
Yeah,
You said you prefer big iron. I mean,
That would be my preference, but like I say, either one of those two
I mean, that's fine
would
with
do a
me.
good job for us, I think.
I'd
Now-
be fine. I don't know that much about them either.
yeah, that's with me, and
I mean, that's kind of my thought all along, that either we sell it with what I feel those two give you the best yield.
yeah,
If we're not gonna do that, then I feel like we'd ought to sell it at New Strong and let our local auction company and the local people, if there's gonna be a little bit of a bargain to be had, then we'd ought to offer that more to the local people. That's my thought, guys. I don't know. You know, either try to get as much as we can, or, you know, try to give our local patrons a little better chance, you know, but obviously they can bid on it too, on this
Mhm.
side, but,
I guess I prefer to see either big iron or Purple Wave. I think
I think we'll get a little bit more.
we'll get a little bit more. That's just my,
and that was one of the big things with Big Iron was the gentleman I talked to said that since they don't charge the buyer anything, their buyer's list is astronomically long.
Yes,
They seem to have a little bit better
they've got a big following. Yeah.
following, is
Yeah.
what he tried to sell, so.
I'm fine.
Yeah. I don't have much luck buying on there, I can tell you that.
Gotta keep bidding, keep hitting that bid button.
Well, that's why I sell one.
why
All
I'm
right.
so high is that.
Well, my understanding, we'll pursue Big Iron.
That's okay with you guys.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah, both those names are well known, but I don't have any
Right.
personal experience with them.
Well, that's
so
what it means. I
I gotta
mean, Wade-
leave it up,
Wade does.
leave it up to
Well,
the commissioners
yeah.
to do,
So
so.
that's all I can tell you is my experience, and I'm fine with doing either
Yeah,
way, you know.
Okay. You guys have anything for me?
Not that I'm aware of, yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day, good week.
You too.
You too.
That's cooled off a little bit.
Get back up to 85, but
Yeah,
that's
right.
about one day, sounds like, this week.
I was gonna acknowledge him, guys, and see if.
Thank you.
Ray had
Thank you, Adam.
round table as well, unless you wanna do that.
I can go get anything.
Hey, I don't know if he's anything or not, it's kind of a early day, be unusual, but you have something for us?
We did the CID collective meetings to see if we could find projects with Saban to pursue as a collective throughout the county to get some better pricing on things. And my understanding is the only one that was pursued was the trail system. Is that correct? We did research for sidewalks, safe routes to schools, stormwater runoff, that type of thing. And then, like, we collected a bunch of information. Can we get permission to move forward with him at a countywide thing to try to get some of these safe routes to schools and sidewalk projects going? You know, as a collective to get some better pricing, which was the whole purpose for doing this, was my understanding.
And Jake, this was done when they were doing the trails and everything? I mean,
Yeah.
it was all done at the same time, is that right?
It was all done at the same time, and they put together several different things for projects that were identifiable and could be pursued. But then the trails was all that was pursued as far as writing a grant and trying to get some money for it. My question, I guess, is, we've got the information, can we turn him loose to start pursuing that, or do we need to turn him loose to start pursuing it as an individual community? Because either way, I'm gonna do it. The reasoning for doing it with the county was to have a collective and get some better pricing, you know, for a bigger project versus a small project. And, I guess that's my question. Do you guys still wanna help pursue it, or do I need to do it on my own as a city?
I get, excuse me, be honest with you, there's been so much going on, I can't remember where this got dropped off.
A lot of the details.
Gotcha. Well, and then-
But yeah, the goal was that all the communities kind of maybe get together, and, you know, come up with a project, and I don't, personally, matters not to me whether it's the city of Waverly or the city of Burlington. I mean, they can have their own project they wanna do. There are
Well, and that's what-
grants out there for safe routes to school.
Exactly, and that's what, we have the ability to fund the project once we, like, get the project,
Awesome.
you know, but where he's already got the information and the engineering portion of it kind of started, can we keep him rolling on that to get the grants written, and then we'll take over and pay for it when, you know, when it becomes an actual project to do?
And Saban was a big part of that. Is
So,
that
I mean,
correct?
like, yeah, all those meetings, they started out with identifying several things, and then it kind of got narrow-sighted into, you know, we were just looking at trails and watershed, or water reserves for
Yeah.
different stuff. And it's my understanding that's all they got a grant written for it and tried to get pursued. So,
And your question is, can you go ahead and use Saban to,
yeah, can we use Saban to get the engineering portion done on the front side of it, to identify our project, which he's already done the background work on? And then once he's written the grant, you know, the grant comes in or doesn't come in, and we got a match or whatever, we'll take over funding it. I don't have any problem with that. I just,
I don't have a problem with it.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I think being Saban has been a part of this, that's the direction you should go on, and just use him to do your.
okay, I gotcha. And that's,
Yeah.
I mean, we had him come down and kind of debrief us on it, last city council, because we felt like we did all the work for 6 months. We were the only entity that was there every single month, you know, putting input into it, marking up maps, doing all that stuff, and then it just kind of, well, we tried to get the trails and we didn't get it, so it disappeared. And I don't want that information to go to waste. You guys paid for all of it
Sure.
to
Thank
be
you.
pursued, so.
That was my hopes, that somebody would pick up the baton, so to speak, and
Yeah,
carry,
Well, and
see
that's-
something to the finish line anyway. and see
gotcha,
what
and
you're
like I
working
said,
on.
we can even talk to Saban and hire him as a city to do the grant writing portion of it, but we're throwing away that collective bargaining that we were trying to get by involving all the communities.
So,
So, you know, do I need to talk to other communities, see if they still want to pursue it? Can we turn Saban loose on it? Can we get another meeting together to, you know, bring everybody back and say, yes, now please let's do this?
Yeah, I think with the, chips and everything,
Yeah, it got backburnered.
Yeah,
I mean,
it got
it's-
backburnered.
the- Well,
And I'll be seeing him Thursday down at,
gotcha, and he's,
in Iowa, so.
having come and debriefed us and spoke with us again, like, he's aware of, like, the direction we need to go. So that's why I was just trying to get your permission to give him direction, or get you guys to give him direction to, yeah, hey, put that project together for him, write the grant, and let them take over when the money's involved.
Would you be willing to, or do you guys think it'd be a good idea if he contacted the other cities and?
well, I think it'd be a good idea, either Jake or Saban himself, or Saban has had contact with the other cities also. I would think that, would it be up to Saban to, I mean, could Saban do that and?
Absolutely, he said that he was most capable and willing to do it. It's just that what the contract was for what he'd been hired for and directed to do by the commissioners had expired. But now where he's kind of filling another role as county engineer for the moment, you know, he's got two hats on, and I just want to make sure I'm.
3, 4.
Yeah, exactly. So
Exactly.
there's a wealth of information there that could really benefit the communities, though, that I don't want to let go to waste.
A lot of
Yeah.
work's already been
And,
done,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
And I don't blame you, I mean, but personally, I don't know what size of project your city's looking at, but.
It would depend a lot on what we could get, like through we identified some stuff with our bridges aren't bridges, they're culverts, so we can't get state funding to help them. We can't get funding under different things to get them. But if you start looking at them as, this road is a safe route to school and it needs a sidewalk to go with it, and to get that sidewalk next to it, you have to replace this culvert. You can start building the project even a little bit more. So, you know, you could turn a $10,000 sidewalk project into a $40,000 project where you got new culverts and the state funded part of it because it helped get you a safe route to school. You know, and that's how he explained it. So he's got the knowledge and the information of things to pursue. I just want to capitalize on it.
So to understand, if you've got culverts, they want, like for the street or for the sidewalk?
For the street.
I see.
But when you start piggybacking that there's no sidewalk there, and they have to use the culvert, walk in the roadway to cross, now you've got a legitimate reason to say, hey, we need a new culvert here that's wider so we can get safe pedestrian
I
passage
see,
on the side.
okay, I understand.
And that's where the state would be.
Yeah, and that's where,
Yeah.
that's where we can get them to fund a little bit of it without asking them to fund it as a culvert, because they don't do that. So.
Okay.
Makes sense to me. Yeah, if you wanna reach out to him, I'll be talking to him too, I mean,
Okay.
and maybe your idea of reaching out to other cities to see if they
Yeah,
want
I
something
mean-
in mind. Cause I think Lebo does have some, they wanna do something.
I think they are.
Lebo has a very experienced city clerk who does a very good job of pursuing things for them.
Yeah, she
Our
does.
we're on our third city clerk, not including me substituting for 4 months in 2 years. And so she's doing well, but she's not got grant writing experience, and
Sure.
we're trying to build into those things. But
Yeah.
Lebo does an awesome job of
Yeah,
it,
they do.
and we've paid her to come help our city clerk. Like,
Yeah.
And that's where Saban would come in as a.
exactly, he
Right,
has the
right,
person who's got
right.
the knowledge and the experience, the
Yeah.
person who knows what grant to go for, how they can manipulate a grant to affect things bigger than just a sidewalk.
Sure.
Like, he's the guy for that.
Yeah, I'd go ahead and reach out. I suggest,
Yeah.
let you go ahead and reach out to him.
Okay.
I'll reach out to him as myself, and we'll get the conversation going and get
Fantastic.
a project created,
Sounds good.
hopefully.
I love it.
All
All
right.
right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Jake.
Thank you very
Take care.
much.
You too.
Yep.
Anybody need a break?
Fine.
Okay. Well, that's kind of our agenda, except for this, it's not really on the agenda, it's just in the,
He's coming.
okay. There he is, right there. Okay. Well, it's kind of a short day, and I know we spoke a little bit on this, KP and F, but I think we're gonna hold off till, Jesse's here as well.
And I think the idea would be to have the entire board here and then make a decision.
Okay.
I don't, it's not absolutely necessary, but since it has such
Yeah, it's sizable.
a big impact, I think it's a full board decision.
No problem.
Yeah, I got the feeling we had a consensus, but I agree with you. Everybody should vote on that.
Once you make that decision, you can't go back.
Right.
And
Well, that being said, we're down to roundtable at 9:40, which is completely unheard of in this day and
Yeah, what
age.
is the deal? Dawn, this is that job you described to me.
Yeah, it's only half the one. I wasn't sure we'd ever see it again.
I couldn't pass
Have
that
to
up.
have Jesse leave more often, I guess.
Well, there were other things on the agenda that got moved or delayed,
Yep.
which hopefully that topic will be back before you very soon. So we're at roundtable, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there are a number of things that I need to bring to your attention, but I need the chairman here for that as well.
Okay.
I did receive a call and an email, a call this morning and an email over the weekend from Sydney Goldberg. And tonight, Goldberg and River City, Warren Moody from River City, and I'm not sure who else, but they're going to the Burlington School Board to talk about the jail project, just give an update where things are. I mean, they've been encouraged, similar to what they're doing with the city of Burlington, going and meeting with them to do so with the school, because especially with the elementary school, what the plan is, what it looks like, and that should be front and center this evening. So, in case you hear anything about that, that's my understanding of what's happening. So, I plan on going to sit as an observer, and I think the sheriff's going to. The project that I believe Bobby and Mike Avendrock talked about, we're still getting the details related to the KDHE side. And I think I saw an email circulating earlier. Bobby had made that phone call to see what needed to be included with that transaction. So hopefully that'll be before you next week as well.
Awesome. Be nice to get that on the tax roll and off Barb's list of things to mow.
Yeah, exactly. It'll have to be the notice first under the disposition of property. So whatever that timeline is, if that notice gets approved next week, for example, you could potentially have it to where you have the public hearing on the 30th. I believe if we get that to Mark on the 16th, it could be put in the paper on the 18th and 25th if needed. That
The 19th and 26th.
or the 19th and 26th. Got it. Yes, I have it 16th, that's correct. So that would be the goal, if that works, and then if it works out right, then on the 30th, that could be at least where it's brought before the board if anybody has any questions. But as you'll recall, because of the tanks in the ground, there's certain requirements that will follow through and flow with the property. I believe it's this week, and somebody probably has it written down, for the jail project, all the bids are due by 2 o'clock on, I think it's the 13th. So I'd imagine more information will be presented regarding the jail project very soon.
This week, I thought it was next week for some reason.
Is it next week? I don't have it in front of me, but it's soon. We could look it up on the county website.
To be honest with you, I've had invitations to bid, but I don't even remember what it is.
I recall the 13th or the 19th, but
I don't have either one of those dates marked.
I didn't keep track.
can easily look that up.
What is it, Wade?
It's on our
County website.
county website for the bids. It should be the first thing there under bid opportunities.
I have here marked, the bid date is October the 12th, which is gonna be Thursday.
You said it's under,
Bid opportunities.
okay. Which one are you talking?
Should be when everything is due for all the,
Law Enforcement Center closes at October 19th at 2 p.m.
October 19th. So,
Put that on your agenda, or on your list of things to do. Okay. On it. Sorry, I didn't have that on there before.
No, you're all right. Other cities kind of running that
outside of that,
parade, whatever.
that's what I have for today.
Okay. Steve,
I don't have anything, Tom.
Ellen?
I visited with Tom yesterday afternoon a little bit on KPNF, and I talked to Wade a little bit later. And I'm not gonna talk on behalf of anybody except myself. But I know in looking at some of the documents that Angie typed out this morning from 3 different counties, it looks like there's a lot of counties, or a few counties that evaluating KPNF. There's one statement in here that I don't particularly like, and I'm not sure we realize it. One of them is if we're with Capers, the employee puts down 6%, the county puts down 8%, 8.4. But if we go with KPNF, the employees are putting down just a little bit more, 7%, 1% more than they will with Capers. But if we're with KPNF, the county's gonna be putting down 0.2%. That's correct, Angie?
Correct.
Okay,
Let me clarify.
pardon?
I just want to clarify, when you guys were talking about this, I had emailed Wade on if I should get a resolution or if he was going to prepare one, and so he was busy and I didn't get back with him. So then I thought, well, maybe I'll just contact the clerk, and all my question was, do any of you have a resolution you can share? And so then I got many responses, and so Dawn was talking to me this morning about it, and I said, well, I'll just print off what responses I've received so that you'll have those, and so that's what that is.
Here's another one from Lincoln County. And this one is once an employer elects to join KPNF, they can never unelect from it. Counties also can only change on January 1st, which we knew that. And they need to leave time to make the change. I'm not, with the deepest respect for law enforcement, I'm not sure I want to get into a contract if there's no way to get out of it. And how solid that contract is, we don't know other than what this statement shows. Only thing we know on that part of it. I know the day the two gentlemen was here in late June, I know we made a comment afterwards, maybe I shouldn't say we, but I think the majority of us voiced of concern that the quality of their presentation was extremely bad, extremely not professional. And I just feel like we got till December 1st to make the decision. I don't want to wait till December 1st. We need to do something the next 2 or 3 weeks if we don't do it before. And I think we need to have a lot more reviewing done, and that even being with a company coming in and making a good presentation rather than one that wasn't very professional. It seems like the information we're getting back is not very positive. There are 32 counties throughout the state that's got KPNF enrolled. There's total employees in those 32 counties, 13,000, but there's only 2,900 KPNF employees, which is 22%. So for a business that's been in business for how many years, we don't know. But they've only got a small percentage of the employees, which doesn't, for as long as they've been entered, to me doesn't speak well if they've got a quality product to sell. So that's my spiel on it, Vice President, Vice Chairman. I'd probably like to ask them to come back in and give us a very, very professional review of what they do provide and make sure we understand everything.
Did you say our portion was 22%? Is that what you said?
I think that's 22.86%.
We didn't know there was going to be additional costs. Was a given, that's for sure.
There's quite a few numbers here, Wade, and Angie just printed these off, but I think that's correct.
Yeah.
Last thing I'll do is present a number, it isn't. One of the statements in here, my understanding was that there is more money put in yearly so the employees can retire at a younger age. Example, instead of 65, they could retire at 55 with so many years' experience. And this is Morton County. At Elkhart, I'd like to have a little more time to review this stuff because we just got it this morning. But
Well, I do think it's a quality product.
what?
I said it's a quality product that law enforcement and fire do appreciate having. So I just want to clarify that too. I don't think it's anything like that. It's just that it is a little more costly to your counties involved.
Yeah, I think
Right, Wade?
so.
It's a part of the same capers that everybody else in the state is a part of. They're under the same umbrella. So I don't think, I guess I'd have to go back and look I don't know if I sat through the entire presentation, but I was here for part of it when the Capers people were here. And the same people who are a part of Capers for KPNF on the law enforcement and fire side are also a part of Capers for, I believe, the judges side, and they may also have something to do with the remainder of employees under Capers. I don't think they have, so they're all part of the same operation, and I think what your question is may go back to legislatively when KPNF became a part of Capers or something different, but it was a benefit that the legislature felt was important to offer an additional benefit to those who serve in a capacity in law enforcement and in fire. So, I mean, it's I know in some instances it's not maybe popular with others because it's a different benefit, and others, and those who are in law enforcement and fire get that additional benefit. One of those benefits, going back and as I recall, is exactly what you just read from Morgan County or wherever it is, that someone can stay in law enforcement and they can retire earlier with that additional benefit. But when someone in either law enforcement or on the firefighting side is running to danger instead of running away from it, I mean, I think that's where that comes into play, and that's, I guess, you know, I'm on regular Capers. I have been for as long as I've been involved in public service, and I'm sure everybody who's been involved in public service is similar to me. But I do see how what I do is different than what firefighters and law enforcement do. And does that offend me? And this is me talking. I can't say that it does. Maybe there's others who it does, but I think being out and seeing what, I don't know, that's just.
But law and fire, I mean, that's, on the law side, it's just the certified people, or and on fire, it's a fully, it's not, it's a full-time firefighter, it's not, right.
And full-time law enforcement too.
And full-time law enforcement.
That's the only ones, not the jail or.
Not the
any of that.
jailers or anything else, and that's just like on fire, it's not it's not like we have volunteer, but it's for those that are fully paid, I mean, that's full.
Active.
Active,
Yeah.
that's their job.
Yeah.
In Cobb County, that we just got one paid full-time on the fire.
On the fire.
Randall.
Randall and Angela.
I'm sorry.
Actually, Randall and Angela.
Okay.
So, I guess.
They're not asked to be signed up at this.
Just the
Right,
sheriff's.
just clarify that.
Right, yeah, no, fire has nothing to do with it. It's just the sheriff, it's just the law side.
To me, it's kind of like, it's a department head's decision to do this. Kind of like Road and Bridge comes in on a truck, or I know it's different, but yet it's not. They've done their research to know what kind of truck they want. They know what kind of truck they want. They know, even when they have employees in the interview, they know what kind of employee they want to hire. And I think in any business, if you will, I'll put it this way, I have a gentleman apply for a job. I don't really need an employee right now, but he has the experience, he has a driver's license, that's usually a plus in my world.
Exactly.
and he's got some experience.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and put him on the payroll, guys, I just, so, if it's a hiring tool, the sheriff's telling us, it's a hiring tool for him, because he's had applicants that say, well, unless you got KP&F, I'm not gonna leave my KP&F right now.
Right.
So,
Right.
I get it.
Yeah, I mean,
And I
Any
think-
department head comes in and says, this is the best fit for me, I'm probably gonna go along with it.
I think probably to Tom's, he wants to be able to retain, and he wants to be able to hire the quality people that are out there.
Right,
And this would-
retainage would be another key word right
Right,
there.
retaining it, and I think that's where he's headed at. And quite honestly, if and when this CHIPS project gets, there's going to be more need for,
there'll be a lot of pressure.
there's gonna be a lot of pressure on
For
his staff.
employees,
Yeah,
because they're gonna be looking for, security people,
sure,
all different kinds,
Sure.
all different, and all other positions too, for all of the local businesses here, is gonna be a concern.
You bet.
And Dawn, I share your concerns about the additional cost 100%. None of us, that's what our job here is, try to get things done the best we can.
As
but-
economically.
Yeah, so I agree with that.
and Don,
I
to your
just-
point about their presentation, yeah, I wasn't really impressed with their presentation. I thought it was pretty short.
It was no good.
It was no good, but if they need to come back, and do their presentation, I have no qualms about that.
I agree with that too, I guess, though, like, in agreement with what Tom says, that these people, that Mr. Johnson and everybody is, apparently this isn't anything new, KP&F is something that's been around for a while, and if he says that's the best fit, then I guess I'm willing to go with that.
And that's where it may,
If we go and look back, we need to have, of course, everybody here is familiar with CAPER, especially Angie. Do we need to have somebody from Angie, from CAPER to come in and have both companies to present? I'm not sure I see
No.
CAPER's coming in, but
I don't see any need
I don't
for
see
that.
any need there
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah, because, as Tom explained to us what, a lot of additional points that it helps retain or quality of law enforcement people.
and this retention is getting more important. Now I'm talking the other side of the fence.
No, I mean, that's.
It's getting so much more important now than what it was 2 or
Well,
3 years ago.
and
And I know
that's-
Tom's fully staffed now,
I've got to
and has
say,
been fully staffed for some.
Don, to me, that's a big factor in my decision of endorsing it, is that, I'm not saying they don't deserve it anyhow, but also just that I think they deserve it, and I think that it's gonna become harder and harder to retain and hire those quality people. So I just feel like it's
Yeah, just based on the
something we
nature.
really need to do.
Just based on the nature of the beast, I mean, these folks they stick their neck out all the time.
Right.
Like Wade said, they run to danger, not from it.
Right.
That's correct.
Anybody in law
If-
enforcement, in my opinion, in today's world,
Yeah, especially in today's.
deserves all they can get.
Need our support.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially in today's world, because it has changed in the last 15 years, I mean, dramatically.
I know you're in small town USA, and the chances are not as great if you were in a bigger city
Yeah.
of danger, but it still exists, the
Yeah.
danger still exists.
We're gonna be looking at a little influx of some different people too, Hopefully it doesn't have a huge impact, but there'll be an impact, in my opinion. There was 40 years ago.
Well, it'll be similar to a Wolf Creek project,
Yeah.
and you've got all types of people.
Close to 50 years ago, I guess, when it started.
And it's a different role from what it was then.
Yeah, it is.
That's right.
It is.
Yeah,
You know, with the
You
quality,
got files a lot more than you can now.
that's
with
right.
the quality of product that KPF has, I'm surprised they only have 22%.
I suppose it's just the cost probably
The
holding it
people,
back,
I'd
Don.
say most of them are just backing off because of the cost.
That would be my thought.
Mr. Bowie's getting ready to pull something up for us.
So I just wanna, you take a look up here, Don, just so you can see, this is the Capers website. And if you look at the Capers website, Capers 1, Capers 2, Capers 3, KPNF, Judges, and they're all under the same umbrella as Capers. So if you are under Capers 2, hired July 1st, 2009 to December 31st, 2014, you can go in here and see how Capers 2 works. And that's what I don't need to go through all that, so we can go back. KPNF, everything that has to do with KPNF is here. You can look and see what it looks like, and it has everything that, all the questions that may tie to KPNF.
So there's a part of the same entity, you might say, is that correct?
It's all under Capers. It
Okay.
depends on what
level you're at.
what level you're at, but Capers 1, 2, and 3 has changed over years. If someone was hired before July 1st, 2009, they're probably under Capers 1. If somebody gets hired present time today, they end up under Capers 3. Because the legislature made changes in the law related to Capers and what benefits are available to different employees. The judges have their own Capers. So I just wanted it to be for anybody who wants to go and do a deep dive into what the options are and what is KPNF, how is that different than Capers. It's available, but it's all available under the same, I mean, this is the main Capers site. And this is where anybody can go in and look and figure out what's there.
Well, there you have it.
So,
I'll just say again, law enforcement deserves anything they can get, and then some. If the department head says this is what I need to help retain employees and promote within, or add to my staff, I believe.
I echo that.
And I fully understand where Tom's coming from. But I guess I'm trying to control expense too, which is $1 million over a few years.
Yes.
I'm not exactly sure what the cost is, but that's,
Well, we're not gonna, at least my thought was the consensus that we talked, we're not gonna go back and buy them out
right.
and pay for
That's
pass.
another $1 million.
No, we're not, or I didn't think anybody was in favor of doing
No,
that.
we were just gonna let them
Move
start,
forward.
Start
January 1,
Yeah.
roll them in, starting then, so they'll, actually when they retire, whenever it is, they'll get their KP now, plus their Capers, plus Social Security at a time, so
That was my understanding.
that's the way
I'm certain that's what everybody had in mind. So.
Yes.
One of the things that I'm a little bit concerned about, when seeing this today was, you know, as KPNF makes these investments, and just like Capers, you know, they're not running in the black like they should. KPNF may not run in the black either, like we'd like to see, and yet you have no way to exit KPNF. I guess I'd like to have an explanation on how they can put that in place. They have no way, the way the paper reads, no way to exit KPNF's programs. Once you join, you're in it. And to me, that's just not the type of program that needs to be out there. And I can call and get some of those answers.
Yeah, that is concerning, I understand what you're saying. That's-
To me, there's too many concerns about it.
Right, but I guess, you know, what would be the odds that we're not gonna exit Capers ever? I wouldn't think.
Probably not.
So, I mean, I don't know that the time would come that would
you're not getting out of paying social security either.
No?
It might be going
We
up.
hope we get a little of it back
Might be going the
someday.
other way, Tom.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I'm at,
Okay.
guys.
I understand.
I'll continue to probably do a little evaluating in my final decision also.
Maybe this,
After I do some more studying.
yeah, maybe what Wade just showed us here, maybe that'd be helpful too. That you could pull that up, Dawn, and look at that.
Yeah.
Might be some answers in there possibly.
I think at this point, my opinion is the Capers representative who knows about the KPNF program and actually also knows about
Mhm.
all the other Capers, options needs to come back. Because right now, there's enough questions that those questions need to be answered. And, you know, why does it have for KPNF that once you make that decision as a board, it says it's irrevocable? And that may be a question now that it's been presented once again, that people in the public may say, well, wait a minute, why? We have questions and we want the answer. So I think,
Right.
it would be haphazard to not have someone from KPF now come in and
I wouldn't mind hearing the explanation of that, why that is. But,
You know, first we set both of them coming up for a 30-minute presentation. Give them so much time and not strain it out, you know, for an hour or two like people like to do.
But Capers rep could come in and
He could
explain the
tell
whole
you,
thing.
he could tell you the whole thing. Absolutely.
Because KPNF is part of Capers.
it's gonna be the same people who will present.
maybe, go ahead.
What I'm saying is, my understanding is the same person who will come in and talk to you about KPNF is also someone who has subject matter expertise in Capers as a whole. So,
See, that being said, that doesn't speak very well to the two people here in July, speaking on behalf of both of them, because like I said, their quality of presentation was not real well.
well, maybe they
I
need
have
to
no problem
come in
with
and
it.
answer different, more specific questions.
Yeah.
I think. So,
Well, maybe the reason that you can't get out is just because of the nature of it, that you have these employees and you're in the program with them. I mean, you know, what would happen to their benefits? I mean, I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know if that's the reason why or not.
Let's see, with the employee paying in 7 or 8% or whatever it was, and county paying in 22% on behalf, that's 30% being paid in for 2 or 3 years. KP&L may not want to put it back in Capers.
Yeah, yeah.
I might suggest, like Wade was talking, suggest we have a couple of people come in from Capers and be prepared.
Should be one person should be able to tell us that they're
Yeah.
knowledgeable.
Like our meeting today was extremely short, which doesn't happen very often, does it, Wade?
Yeah.
But down the,
I don't mind that.
since we're done with, what'd you say?
Could've been shorter, but you.
Could've been shorter.
Yeah, it could have been. I know what time you need to be someplace, Wade.
You're right, I was just messing.
Yeah, but, now I forgot what I was gonna say. About how short my memory is.
I think one person from
Capers.
from Capers
Yeah.
can explain this all to us a little better maybe if we want to do
Yeah.
that.
You know, with all of our budgets done, the accountability's all being done now, our meetings should get a little bit shorter, but then again, with everything we got going on with
Well,
chips.
it sounds like we're gonna have quite a few items next week
Yeah.
because the stuff that was pushed off from this week, so
Yeah.
this is the way it sounds, so. I don't have anything, are you done, Don?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, I don't have anything.
I've done too much.
And you?
Just a reminder that this Wednesday is your Wolf Creek drill, last one before the graded in November. And then Thursdays, at Kansas Department of Transportation local consult meeting. And
Charlie will attend.
that's all I
So
have.
what time do we need, I mean, do we need,
Be here Wednesday.
Well,
last time we were here at 8 o'clock and it was 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
you could probably
I mean,
start heading this way about 8:30, 8:45 maybe, and then if they call before, you'll just get there when you get there.
We probably got a day here, if 8:30, please.
That's all I have.
Cause I don't really have anything. Yet, anyway. Most of my stuff is waiting in the wings with Wade, so. Anything else you wanna add?
Not for today, other than this is the earliest this meeting's getting done that I can remember in recent time.
Almost a record.
Yeah. You hadn't dropped the gavel yet.
That being said, I guess we'll adjourn at 10:16.
Guess you could take a break and stretch over 10 more minutes.